planet, both mentally and physically. They train under extremely high loads of resistance in grueling conditions, which results in a well-conditioned body ready for the best of challenges. I've simulated a Navy SEAL workout using your Total Gym boot camp style. The goal of this challenge is to get as fit as you can within 2 weeks. How it works is that you'll perform the boot camp at strength workout 4 to 5 days and incorporate your own cardio 5 to 6 of those days. Now let's go ahead and learn the dynamic warm-up for the challenge. For your dynamic warm-up, you'll perform the exercises by either reps or by time sets, so make sure you have a timer. The first exercise Mark will perform are jumping jacks. He'll perform this for 20 times. Once he's done with that, he'll go right into high knee runs. Now if you're at a park or a place where you can run, you're going to sprint to a point and back for 60 seconds. Once you're done with this exercise, he'll go right into side-to-side hops, touching the floor each time. As he does this, he shifts his hips back, keeping his torso lifted and rotating through it each time. He'll perform this for 60 seconds. Then he'll go right into inchworm push-ups. As he does this, he rolls down, walks his hands out into a plank, performs one push-up, keeping his core engaged, and keeping his legs straight, he walks back in, and then repeats the exercise. Once he's done 10 reps, he reverses it and does it backwards. Then he'll walk back out into shoulder taps. This is your last warm-up exercise. You want to try to do this as fast as you can, tapping the opposite shoulder with your hands, keeping your core engaged and your body long at all times. This is also for 60 seconds. Now let's go ahead and learn the exercises for the challenge. The first exercise of the challenge is a pull-up. Have your pull-up bars attached with the incline at the highest level. Mark will assume a prone position, grabbing onto the pull-up bars. As he does the pull-up, he can perform different ranges of motion, but the goal of this is to perform the exercise to failure. Once he does as many as he possibly can, he's going to go just a little bit farther by performing small ranges of motion into pulses. So he's going to hold this right where he is and do as many pulses as he possibly can. If you're at a park, find something sturdy to do your pull-ups. He's going to place his hands in a wide position of stance. You can also change the angle of your arms to challenge your body. He'll perform this exercise to failure, and if he really wants to challenge it, he can add those pulses at the end range of motion. Next, we move into decline push-ups. Remove your squat stand and keep your incline at a high level. Mark will come down to a plank position with his feet on the glide board and hands at the bottom base. He'll open up the glide board, keeping his core engaged, his body long to perform his decline push-ups. He'll perform this exercise to failure, and then once he gets to that point, he's going to challenge himself by adding the pulses to really burn out the muscle. If you're at a park, you can perform decline push-ups by placing your feet onto a wall, your hands on the ground, and perform the push-up. Again, you'll perform this to failure, and then you can add those pulses at the end range of motion to really challenge your body. Next, we'll move into squats and then progress into jump squats. Remove your pull-up bars, keep your incline at a high level, and the squat stand is attached. Now Mark is going to place his feet at the very top of the squat stand, and he's also going to use a band to increase the intensity. When he feels ready, he's going to add that jump squat. He presses through his heels, using full range of motion through his hips, and the band increases that intensity. He's going to perform this exercise to failure. If you're at a park, you can perform squat and jump squats. We'll use a band for extra resistance. So he'll add the jump squats to really challenge the motion. We'll do this exercise to failure. Next, we move into dips. Keep your incline either at a high or lower it down to a medium level. Your feet will be placed onto the squat stand. Keep your glide board closed as you place your hands onto the glide board and lift your hips up. You want to keep your chest open as you perform the dips. Now you can challenge this exercise by opening up through the glide board. This really increases the challenge because it increases or includes a balance challenge. But as you do this, you're going to make sure that your shoulders are back, keeping your chest lifted at all times. And also you'll perform this exercise to failure. If you're at a park, you can perform dips by placing your feet up onto a bench or a wall, hands on the ground, and perform dips up and down, keeping your hips as close to your hands as possible and your chest lifted with your shoulders back. You perform this exercise to failure. Connect your cable for kneeling chops. You'll grab the handles, anchor down, and then position your body to the top of your glide board and come into a high kneeling position. You'll rotate through your torso to perform the chops. You perform this exercise on both sides to failure. If you're at a park, you can perform standing chops using a kettlebell for added resistance. You're going to go from your shoulder down to your hip, rotating through your torso. Perform to failure on each side. Remove your cable for decline sit and twist. Mark's going to use a kettlebell for extra resistance. Place your feet to the outside of the rails and hook them on the inside. He leans back, keeping his core engaged, and rotates his torso from side to side. The higher the incline, the harder the challenge. You perform this exercise to failure. If you're at a park, you can use a kettlebell or added resistance to perform decline sit and twist. If you have something that is an incline, you can also push your feet up onto that to use that incline as your resistance. Perform this exercise to failure. After a grueling workout, you're going to want to stretch and recover the muscles. So the first stretch that we'll do is a standing hamstring and a figure 4 stretch. Mark will place his foot up onto the glide board, keeping his feet in both directions. He's going to press the hips back while he keeps his legs straight to feel the stretch in through the hamstring. Now the standing leg can either be straight or slightly bent. Now you can use the glide board for balance, so he can place one hand there, and as he does this, he's going to cross the leg over and sit down into a figure 4 stretch. To increase the stretch, he's going to lift up on the foot to feel the stretch even intensify from here. Then he'll repeat the same stretch on the other side. Next we perform a standing wall stretch. Mark faces side by the wall. He's going to place his hand on the wall with his thumb facing up. He rotates away from the wall to feel the stretch in through his chest and shoulder. And then he'll change sides. So walk away from the wall, thumb is up, rotating through the torso so that he really feels the stretch in through the chest and the whole arm and shoulder. The next stretch, you're going to use a monkey bar or something solid to stretch your arms out. He's going to hold at the very top and just let his body weight hang down as he feels the stretch coming down through his arms, his lats, and releasing through the lower back. To end the stretches, you're going to use a foam roller. This is such a great tool to use to recover and release the muscles. Mark's going to come into a prone position with his thighs on top. He can either go into his hands or his forearms to roll forward and back from the top of the thigh to the top of the knee. This helps to release some muscle tension into the thigh area that you just worked. Then he's going to turn his hips to the side. Now he can either stagger the legs or he can stack them one on top of the other depending on how much your legs are releasing or not. So if you can handle the slightly pain from the foam roller, you can go into a stacked position. This helps to stretch out to the piriformis or the outer thigh. Then he's going to finish out by going onto his glutes. He's going to let the foam roller roll down his spine as he feels the whole back release. This is such a nice feeling for the lower back, the upper shoulders. And then once he's done, he's going to just release back to the floor, opening up through his chest and shoulders, feeling the stretch all the way down through his body. These type of workouts are for developing strength and power through muscle endurance. Do the best you can by fatiguing the muscle to failure each time. Good luck and stay tuned for next week's new challenges.